Like bad kids, bitch, we reckless, yeah. Raw hearts are like taxes.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Gwop, signing back on another video. And in today's video, I feel like now is the perfect time to give my official pre-review and like my expectations for Need for Speed Heat, since we're like only like 12 hours away from Need for Speed Heat dropping on the 8th, which I'm planning on at least recording some gameplay at the midnight release. But if not, I can actually wake up early and then, you know, play the game and actually record it for you guys here on my channel as well. So, and also, before we even get started in the video, make sure you guys smash that like button and also comment down below, like, what length do you actually want to see my walkthroughs of each individual video that I'm actually going to be doing for Need for Speed Heat. Like, do you guys want 10-minute videos? Do you guys want 20-minute videos? Hell, I will even stretch it to even 30 to an hour-long videos. So, like, as long as y'all comment down below, like, I'll actually get it set up for you guys. I'll listen to y'all feedback, and then I'll actually, like, edit the videos to, like, a certain length so, like, it can be adjustable for everybody, and I'll make that happen. But, with out of the way, let's actually get into the video. I rambled on for long enough. So, now if you guys have been paying attention to the Need for Speed Heat news and has actually been checking out gameplay and the gameplay trailers and all that other jazz, like, if you're like me, you're excited for this game. You actually expect it to be a great Need for Speed game. You expect it to be better than Payback, because let's be honest, Payback, it flopped. It did horrible. The game pretty much died within a year. There was so much things wrong with Payback, like, I can just be here for hours. For example, the voice acting was piss poor. The story mode didn't really make that much of a bit of sense. The map was not all that good either. It was 80% desert. Like, you was mainly driving in the desert. There was barely any events in the city area. There was also no free roam cops. Like, they replaced the performance parts with speed cards, and then there was multiple tiers of speed cards, and then they put it in the loot boxes. I can pretty much sit here and ramble on for hours about how bad and how piss poor Need for Speed Payback did, and pretty much was not up to par for my likings, but we're gonna pretty much be here all day. But now, Need for Speed and EA, I feel like that they listened to us big time this year, and I feel like that one of the things that they actually touched on was the gameplay mechanics and how the car actually drives when you're actually racing in Palm City in Need for Speed Heat. Because if you guys have played the last two Need for Speeds, both 2015 and Payback, you guys know that brake to drift was a constant issue that everybody was saying that needs to be removed. They need to make a more realistic and more, like, how would I say it, more of a skill-based driving mechanic in the game, because like all you just had to do is brake to drift and then you will get a massive speed boost, even more of a speed boost than if you went with a grip build in 2015 or Payback. Now in 2015, the gameplay mechanics was clunky. The gameplay mechanics was good, don't get me wrong, but it was very twitchy at times. It was very clunky at times. Like, there was so many stuff wrong with it. Like, if you would make all of a sudden a sharp left turn and then you would find yourself losing control of your car. They fixed that in Payback, where like it's a lot more smoother, and it's a lot smoother version of 2015 Need for Speed. But at the same time, brake to drift was something that we didn't want, and we didn't want to have to drift around every single corner in order to take a turn faster. So in the gameplay that I'm seeing right now, and also from Black Panther and all the other Need for Speed community guys, and from the gameplay trailers, they redesigned the grip feature for all the cars in the game, and actually redesigned that you can actually have a grip style car and it can actually turn corners and actually turn in the Need for Speed game, which is something that I haven't seen in a very, very long time. And it's a miracle that we can actually turn our cars the way we want to in our game. It's a miracle. Now in Need for Speed Heat, they also brought along other things as well. Now, for example, the customization features have been revamped. You can also choose other paint styles. You can also tune the engine to like make sure and tweak how your engine would sound and all this other jazz. And I'm honestly excited for that, because I was so sick and tired of having to listen to the same generic sound. And I actually popped in Need for Speed Underground 2, and then like I was going through the performance parts, and I was actually tweaking the cars and actually putting certain performance parts on the cars. Now, for example, the RB26 Skyline in Need for Speed Underground 2, I was able to recreate a sound that was sort of similar to Brian O'Connor's Too Fast Too Furious Skyline from the movie, and you can actually make your cars actually sound the way that you want to sound in Need for Speed Heat, and you actually have different style of sounds. If you want more of like a raspy sort of feel and like a raspy sort of sound to your engine, you can have that. If you want more of like a smooth purr or a loud growl, you can have that too. So I'm going to play around with that, because there is multiple cars that I actually want to test out this feature in, and best believe that I'm going to be making some grip builds and some drift builds for you guys as well. Now, one more thing that I also want to touch on is the story. Now I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. like, people have spoiled some of the story in Need for Speed Heat for me. The beginning, like a mission somewhere in the middle, and thank God that no one actually spoiled it for me in the end. They say that the ending was very good and satisfying from what I'm hearing, and if you guys didn't already know, if you have EA access, you can play the game like 5 days or like 3 days early, but we ain't making Tekashi 69 money over here, my G. I already spent $76 on this damn game for the digital deluxe edition, so I'm just gonna wait until midnight over here, my guy. Now, the story mode, for what I've already seen and what other people have already talked about, the story is actually pretty good, and I honestly cannot wait. And I'm not gonna spoil anything for you guys as well. If you guys are planning on playing Need for Speed Heat on the official release date, not 2 days or 3 days before, I'm not gonna spoil that for you guys, because I want to sit up here and I want to play through the game myself, and I want to play through the game for y'all on my channel, and actually want to record it and also sit through it for the first time with y'all guys as well. Now, also another thing I also want to touch on is the cars that's added into the game. Now, I've also taken a look at the car list. Now, the car list, I wish they could have added like some updated versions, like for example the Challenger SRT8. Now, obviously I've seen gameplay of the Challenger SRT8, and obviously you can convert it into like replica Hellcat and an updated 2016 model Challenger, but at the same time I want an actual Hellcat in the game. I want an actual demon in the game, not a replica of a demon or a Hellcat. But now hopefully in the DLC they can actually add some other cars, and we can actually request some cars so that they can add in future DLCs for the game, because we got 2 years for this game, and if the gameplay is short from what I'm seeing, and what from other gameplay people on YouTube has also sit down and recorded as well, because apparently some people already got this game done, we need some more content for this game over the next 2 years, because if they don't add no content and the game is this short and I pay $80 for it, best believe I'm uninstalling it within the next week. So if they can add some free content updates as well, that can also add new cars and also add in DLCs and other DLC cars that people have been requesting for years, like myself, I feel like that Need for Speed Heat can be one of the best Need for Speeds that we had in a while. And also, speaking of cars, now I'm also bringing up gameplay and YouTube gameplay up here on the screen right now. And also, as you can see, I am very excited to announce that throwback cars are now officially in Need for Speed Heat, and Need for Speed Heat actually got down the exact models of the car. For example, you're seeing on screen right now Rachel's 350Z from Need for Speed Underground 2, and as you can see, it even has the speakers in the trunk and everything, the exact same body kit for Underground 2 and everything, the exact rims, everything. So I am very excited to actually get my hands on that car when the time comes and actually show you guys this gameplay as well. And two more things I also want to mention here is that I know you guys see Eddie's Skyline from the original Underground, and I can honestly say right now, they did a very great job in replicating every single car that they brought back from popular Need for Speed games in the past. And if they can actually replicate the exact body kits from Eddie's Skyline, Rachel's 350Z, and also the actual BMW M3 GTR, the real BMW M3 GTR with the supercharger wine and everything in Need for Speed Heat, I know for a fact that they can actually remaster Underground, Underground 2, and Most Wanted 2005. If they can include the exact body kits and make it right all the way around, I know for a fact that they can actually make a remaster for any of the other popular Need for Speed games in the past. Now, crews are also going to be returning in Need for Speed Heat this year, but it's going to be very, very similar to how the crew is in the Crew 2, where you can actually make your own crew, like have your friends join your crew, and you can get exclusive rewards and XP boosts and bank boosts, and also exclusive rewards for being in a said crew. So, for example, like if you own the digital deluxe edition like me, and then you already have that plus 10% boost to your bank and your XP, like you're going to be able to get an extra 10% boost, up to 10%, if you're actually rolling in a crew and is actually getting missions and races done while in your said crew, while you're playing it online. So that's also going to be something that I'm going to be looking forward to, and best believe I got some ideas to create my own crew, and I already got some people lined up for my crew, so we can get some content for you guys as well and actually tear down the streets of Palm City. And one last thing that I also want to touch up on, and I'm going to give my final thoughts about my expectations about about Need for Speed Heat is that they say that the cops in this game does not play around. Now, the daytime cops, there's a distinct difference between the daytime cops and the nighttime cops. Now, the daytime cops, they're there and they're roaming around free mode, but you really have to aggravate them and really have to irritate them to the point where they're gonna have to come after you, like smashing in. They're gonna try and pull you over for speeding. You know, that normal stuff that you saw in 2015 Need for Speed in the free roam cops. Like, they would honestly, like, they obey by the rules and they play by the rules. So as long as you play by their rules and then you don't aggravate them to the point where they have to come after you, that's fine. But now the nighttime cops, that's where stuff really starts to hit the fan, and it's a whole different ball game, because from what I'm seeing, that there is multiple heat levels and it goes up to heat level 5. Now, I'm hearing people already say that on heat level 1 and 2, they're already having some difficulties on heat level 1 and 2. But now if you go up to 3, 4, and 5, it's gonna be hell on a stick. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys, if any of you guys play Need for Speed Most Wanted or Need for Speed Carbon, if you guys remember that if you reach a certain heat level, certain style cops will actually start coming after you. And like, for example, the Corvettes will start coming after you, like the Interstate Troopers will start coming after you, like the Rhinos will start coming after you. The Rhinos have made a return in Need for Speed Heat again. They made a return in Need for Speed Payback, but like I said, the only way that you could trigger the cops is that if you actually pick up these special crates that actually activates these police pursuits, and the Rhinos will start coming after you if you actually cause enough trouble and all this other stuff. So Rhinos have made a return. Now also kill switches has also made a return. Now this was also introduced in Need for Speed Payback, but like I said, the only way that you can trigger these police pursuits is that if you were in either certain missions or if you actually picked up those special crates that were bait boxes for the police and they will actually come after you. Alright, don't quote me, but I think heat level 3 or 4 is when they're gonna start bringing out the kill switches. Now also, to counter that stuff, you also got vanity items in the shop, and you can also unlock those through your progression and through the story mode. Like, for example, you got kill switch jammers, you got nitrous refill boosters, and some other stuff. Now I haven't gone through and actually checked out everything because I actually want to be surprised for when the full game comes out, but I can already tell that this game put a lot of effort into it, and I'm honestly cannot wait until midnight until I install this game. And probably I'm not gonna play it at midnight, but I'm probably gonna actually play it like early in the morning. Like, I'm gonna wake up at like 6 a.m. 7 a.m. and then like record, and then I'm gonna edit, and then I'm gonna get the videos out for you guys. So I cannot wait to actually record and actually get this gameplay for you guys. It can actually give me something else better to do other than having to deal with the Pressure Mark 2s on fucking GTA like I had to deal with earlier today with a fully loaded ruiner. But that's all I just wanted to say, man. Overall, I think Need for Speed Heat is actually going to be a very, very good game. Now, hopefully, it does not die within the first year like Payback did. And if they can actually execute like the game very, very good and actually include more DLC content, and hopefully, if they want to add free content updates and add more cars over time and more style races. Now, I noticed that drag racing isn't in the game, but hopefully, they can add that like they did in Need for Speed 2015. But that's all I wanted to say, man. This your boy Gwop. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you're new. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And I'm out, bruh.